all of you who are here and all of you who are here on Facebook Live. Welcome to today's Mass. We will begin Mass shortly. Today I will offer on this the Tuesday of the 12th week of Ordinary Time. I will offer a special Mass in time of war or civil disturbance due to all the unrest that's still going on in our country. Pray for our country and pray for those who are defending our freedoms and defending law and order and also defending justice in all of these various forms. So let's begin Mass in just a few minutes, and we will still a few more minutes, so maybe I don't know if we have anything that we'll play, but let's just see it. The Lord said, I think thoughts of peace and not of affliction. You will call upon me, and I will answer you. And I will lead back your captives from every place. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, and the love of God, and the communion of the Holy Spirit be with you all. Brother, let us acknowledge our sins and so prepare ourselves to celebrate the sacred mysteries. I confess to Almighty God and to you, my brothers and sisters, that I have greatly sinned in my thoughts and in my words, what I have done and what I have failed to do, through my most grievous fault. Therefore I ask Blessed Mary, the Virgin, all the angels and saints, and you, my brothers and sisters, to pray for me to the Lord our God. May Almighty God have mercy on us, forgive us our sins, and bring us to everlasting life. Lord, have mercy.
Lord, have mercy.
Christ, have mercy.
Christ, have mercy.
Lord, have mercy.
Lord, have mercy.
Let us pray. O God, author and lover of peace, to know you is to live, to serve you is to reign. Defend against every attack those who try to, so that we who trust in your protection may not fear the weapons of any foe. Through our Lord Jesus Christ, your Son, who lives and reigns with you in the unity of the Holy Spirit, one God, forever and ever.
A reading from the second book of Kings. Sennacherib, king of Assyria, sent envoys to Hezekiah with this message. Thus shall you say to Hezekiah, king of Judah, do not let your God on whom you rely deceive you, by saying that Jerusalem will not be handed over to the king of Assyria. You have heard what kings of Assyria have done to all other countries. They doomed them. Will you then be saved? Hezekiah took the letter from the hand of the messengers and read it. He went up to the temple of the Lord, and spreading it out before him, he prayed in the Lord's presence. O Lord, God of Israel, throned upon the cherubim, you alone are God over all the kingdoms of the earth. You have made the heavens and the earth. Incline your ear, O Lord, and listen. Open your eyes, O Lord, and see. Hear the words of Sennacherib, which he sent to taunt the living God. Truly, O Lord, the kings of Assyria have laid waste the nations, and their hands and their lands, and cast their gods into the fire. They destroyed them because they were not gods, the work of human hands, wood and stone. Therefore, O Lord our God, save us from the power of this man, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that you alone, O Lord our God. And Isaiah, son of Amos, sent this message to Hezekiah. Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, in answer to your prayer for the help against Sennacherib, king of Assyria. I have listened. This is the word the Lord has spoken concerning you. She despises you, laughs you to scorn, with the virgin daughter Zion. Behind you she wags her head, daughter Jerusalem. For out of Jerusalem shall come a remnant, and from Mount Zion survivors. The zeal of the Lord of hosts shall do this. Therefore, thus says the Lord concerning the king of Assyria, you shall not reach this city or shoot arrow at it, or come before it with a shield, or cast up siege works against it. You shall return by the way you came, without entering the city, says the Lord. I will shield and save this city for my own sake, and for the sake of my servant David. That night the angel of the Lord went forth and struck down 185,000 men in the Assyrian camp. Sennacherib, king of Assyria, broke camp and went back home to Nineveh. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
God upholds his city forever.
God upholds his city forever.
Great is the Lord and holy to be praised in the city of our God. His holy mountain, fairest of heights, is the joy of all the earth.
God upholds his city forever.
Mount Zion, the recesses of the north, is the city of the great King. God is with her castles. Renowned is he as a stronghold.
God upholds his city forever.
O God, we ponder your mercy within your temple. As your name, O God, so also your praise reaches the ends of the earth. Of justice, your right hand is full. God upholds the city forever. The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit,
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus said to his disciples, "Do not give what is holy to dogs, or throw your pearls before swine, lest they trample them underfoot, and turn and tear you to pieces. Do to others whatever you would have them do to you. This is the law and the prophets. Enter through the narrow gate. The gate is wide and the road broad that leads to destruction, and those who enter through it are many. How narrow the gate, constricted the road that leads to life, and those who find it are few." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
And enter through the narrow gate. The gate is wide and the road broad that leads to destruction, and those who enter through it are many. And when we turn on the TV, when we watch social media, when we just look in the cities around our country, it seems clear that there's a lot of destruction going on. A lot of violence, a lot of destruction of small businesses, destruction of monuments, destruction of statues, even attempted burnings of churches. It's causing a lot of concern and anxiety. And you know, what's the root of it? It's a whole other discussion. A lot of justice, a lot of bad things happen that were rightfully and should be rightfully condemned. And yet, the destruction seems to be taking on a life of its own. And I don't think the destruction of these things in our cities will necessarily end at some general's statue. I don't think it may end at the toppling of statues of Christopher Columbus or St. Junipero Serra, whose statue was toppled in San Francisco, or somewhere in California. I think the destruction will continue. It seeks to destroy, it seems, society at large, to to destroy the government, and not even to stop there, to destroy the church, to try to destroy Jesus Christ. But we know that Jesus Christ has the victory. We know that Jesus is the victor on the cross. They tried to destroy his body, the temple, but he rose on the third day. And so while, yes, the road that leads to destruction is a broad road, and many will enter through that road, and few are those who follow the road that leads to life. We who seek to be the few are more than we might think. We're not alone. We must unite ourselves to Jesus Christ in times of destruction. We must unite ourselves to Jesus Christ in love, in peace, in justice. Unite ourselves to Jesus Christ, who seemingly was destroyed on that cross. And it might seem for a while like we are being destroyed right along with him. But he rose on the third day. And if we are united with him, we will rise on the third day with him. May the Eucharist we receive today give us courage. May it give us strength.
Blessed be you, Lord God of all creation, for through your goodness we receive the bread we offer you, fruit of the earth, the work of human hands, will become for us the bread of life. Blessed be God forever. Blessed are you, Lord God of all creation, for through your goodness we have received the wine we offer you, the fruit of the vine and the work of human hands. It will become our spiritual drink. Blessed be God forever. Pray, brethren, that my sacrifice and yours may be acceptable to God, the Almighty Father.
The Lord accept the sacrifice with praise and glory of his name, for our good and for the all of his glory.
Be mindful, Lord, that your Son, who himself is peace, has destroyed our hatreds by his blood. Look in mercy on our evil deeds, and grant that to those whom you love, this sacrifice may restore peace and tranquility. Through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
The Lord be with you. Lift up your hearts. Let us give thanks to the Lord our God. It is truly right and just a duty in our salvation, always and everywhere to give you thanks, Lord, Holy Father, Almighty and eternal God. For just as through your beloved Son you created the human race, so also through him, with great goodness, you formed it anew. And so it is right that all your creatures serve you, all the redeemed praise you, and all your saints with one heart bless you. Therefore we too extol you with all the angels, as in joyful celebration we acclaim, Holy, holy, holy Lord, God of hosts. Heaven and earth are full of your glory. Hosanna in the highest. Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna in the highest. To you, therefore, most merciful Father, we make humble prayer and petition through Jesus Christ, your Son, our Lord, that you accept and bless these gifts, these offerings, these holy and unblemished sacrifices, which we offer you first at your holy Catholic Church. Be pleased to grant her peace, to guard, unite, and govern her throughout the whole world, together with your servant, Francis, our Pope, and Mary, our Bishop, and all those who hold to the truth and on the Catholic and Apostolic faith. Remember, Lord, your servants. And all gathered here, whose faith and devotion are known to you. For them we offer you this sacrifice of praise, for they offer for themselves and all who are dear to them, for the redemption of their souls, in hope of health and well-being, paying their homage to you, the eternal God, living and true. In communion with those whose memory we venerate, especially the glorious of the Virgin Mary, Mother of our God and Lord Jesus Christ, the blessed Joseph, her spouse, the blessed apostles and martyrs, Peter and Paul, Andrew, James, John, Thomas, James, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Simon and Jude, Linus, Cletus, Clement, Sixtus, Cornelius, Cyprian, Lawrence, Chrysogonus, John Paul, Cosmas, and David, and all your saints. We ask that through their merits and prayers and all things we may be defended by and protected and helped through Christ our Lord. Amen. Therefore, Lord, we pray, graciously accept this oblation of our service, that of our whole family. Order our days in your peace. Command that we be delivered from eternal damnation and counted among the flock of those you've chosen through Christ our Lord. Amen. Be pleased, O God, we pray, to bless, acknowledge, and approve this offering in every respect. Make it spiritual and acceptable, so that it may become for us the body and blood of your most beloved Son, our Lord, Jesus Christ. On the day before he was to suffer, he took bread in his holy and venerable hands, with eyes raised to heaven, to you, O God, his almighty Father, giving you thanks, he said the blessing, broke the bread and gave it to his disciples, saying, "Take this, all of you, and eat of it, for this is my body, which will be given up for you." In a similar way, when supper was ended, he took this precious chalice in his holy and venerable hands, Once more giving you thanks, he said the blessing, and gave the chalice to his disciples, saying, "Take this, all of you, and drink from it. For this is the chalice of my blood, the blood of the new and eternal covenant, which will be poured out for you and for many, for the forgiveness of sins. Do this in memory of me." The mystery of faith. When we eat this bread, therefore, O Lord, as we celebrate the memorial of the Blessed Passion, the resurrection from the dead, and the glorious ascension into heaven of Christ, your Son, our Lord, we, your servants and your holy people, offer to your glorious majesty for the gifts that you have given us, this pure victory, this holy victory, this spotless victory, the holy bread of eternal life, and the chalice of everlasting salvation. Be pleased to look upon these offerings with a serene and kindly countenance, and to accept them, as once you were pleased to accept the gifts of your servant, Abel the just, the sacrifice of Abraham, our father in faith, and the offering of your high priest, Melchizedek, the holy sacrifice, the spotless victory. In humble prayer, we ask you, Almighty God, command that these gifts be borne by the hands of your holy angel to your altar on high, in the sight of your divine majesty, so that all of us, through this participation at the altar, receive the most holy body and blood of your Son, may be filled with every grace and heavenly blessing. Through Christ our Lord, amen. Remember also, Lord, your servants who have gone before us with the sign of faith, and rest and sleep in peace. Grant them, O Lord, we pray, that all who seek of Christ, in place of refreshment, light, and peace, Christ, O Lord, amen. To us also, your servants, who those sinners, open your abundant mercies, graciously grant some share of fellowship with your holy apostles and martyrs, with John the Baptist, Stephen, Matthias, Barnabas, Ignatius, Alexander, Marcellinus, Peter, Felicity, Perpetua, Agatha, Lucy, Agnes, Cecilia, Anastasia, and all your saints. Permit us to beseech you into their company, not weighing our merits, but granting us your pardon. Through Christ our Lord, through whom you continue to make all these good things, O Lord. You sanctify them, fill them with life, bless them, and bestow them upon us. Through him, and with him, and in him, O God, Almighty Father, in the unity of the Holy Spirit, all glory and honor is yours, forever and ever. Amen. At the Savior's command, informed by divine teaching, we dare to say, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Deliver us, Lord, we pray, from every evil. Graciously grant peace in our days, that with the help of your mercy we may be always free from sin and safe from all distress, as we await the blessed hope of the coming of our Savior, Jesus Christ.
For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours, now and forever.
Lord Jesus Christ, who said to your apostles, Peace I leave you, my peace I give you. Look not on our sins, but on the faith of your church, and graciously grant her peace and unity in accordance with your will, who live and reign forever and ever.
Amen.
The peace of the Lord be with you always.
And with your spirit.
Lamb of God,
Take away the sins of the world. Have mercy on us. Lamb of God, take away the sins of the world. Have mercy on us. Lamb of God, take away the sins of the world. Grant us peace.
Behold the Lamb of God. Behold him who takes away the sins of the world. Blessed are those called to the supper of the Lamb. Lord, I am not worthy that you should enter under my roof, but only say the word, and my soul shall be healed. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you, says the Lord. Not as the world gives, do I give it to you. Do not let your hearts be troubled or afraid. Amen. Body of Christ. Body of Christ. Body of Christ. Body of Christ. The body of Christ. The body of Christ. Let us pray. Grant to us, O Lord, that nourished with the delights of the one bread that fortifies the human heart, we may successfully overcome the fury of war and resolutely keep your law of love and justice through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
And before the final blessing, just a couple of things I should say. I didn't really mention it explicitly in the homily, but that road of destruction, of course, leads to destruction here on earth, but also at the end leads to hell. And I don't think enough people really believe in hell. And I don't think that maybe some people don't believe that anybody ends up in hell. But hell is real, and the Lord is quite clear. The path to destruction, the path to hell, is a broad path. And many will follow that path. We can't follow that path. We have to follow the path that leads to heaven. That's the first thing. And the key to that is the Eucharist. And so at 10:30 today, I'll be continuing the series on the Eucharist, and I invite everybody here, everybody watching, to join in for the series on the Eucharist. Today we will be talking about the Eucharist as a sacrifice. And so I invite you, if you wish to join us live, to email me. Email me at sjcpetersburg.com. Just look it up if you want. But email me and I can send you the invite so that you can join us live at 10:30. We should be done right about noon. And I hope to see many of you there. We had a good little group last week, and I'd love to see even more this week. If you can't join in live, then it will be uploaded afterwards to YouTube if you have to do it. At noon, after the class of the Eucharist, we will have a holy hour. We've been having a holy hour every, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and of course the Wednesday holy hour after Mass. And we'd love to have more people come to that. If you're truly serious about our faith, then we will try to make it as often as we can to adore our Lord truly present in the Eucharist. So I encourage you to join for that as well. The Lord be with you. May Almighty God bless you, Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Amen. Go and announce the gospel of the Lord.
Thanks be to God. St. Michael the Archangel, defend us in battle. Be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil. May God rebuke you, we humbly pray. And be thou accordance to the heavenly hosts, by the power of God, cast into hell Satan and all the evil spirits who prowl out the world seeking the ruin of souls. Amen. Salve Regina, Mater misericordiae, vita dulcedo, et spes nostra salve. A te clamamus, exules Kyrie eleison, a te suspiramus, gementes et flentes, in hac lacrimarum vale. Ea ergo, advocata nostra, Dios tuos, misericordes oculos, ad nos converte, et Iesum, benedictum fructum ventris tui, nobis, nos loque
joining us today. Thank you, all of you who are here. Hope to see you at 10:30. Remember to email me, nredmond@sjcpetersburg.com to join for the Eucharist class. So that's looking forward to that. And I'm hoping we'll have good weather for the cemetery series to continue later on this evening, probably about 7 o'clock or so. So hopefully the weather will cooperate. We'll be able to continue with the cemetery series as well. So Eucharist, 10:30, cemetery, weather permitting, at 7. God bless you all. Have a great day.